What would you do? So let's say Stanbic IBTC opens right in your neighborhood. What would you expect? Funfair, gigantic structures, a splash of color blue, or perhaps more, a touch of hope that changes people's lives. They say, let's keep business running as business. Stanbic IBTC says we run the business as humanity. The organization has always been at the forefront of giving hope. Its approach to running the business as humanity reflects its commitment to addressing significant issues like limb loss. Losing a limb is not just a physical loss, it's an emotional one. It's loss of innocence, a loss of hope. Limb loss is a significant issue that requires increased access to healthcare, rehabilitation services, and social inclusion to improve children's physical, emotional, and social well-being.
I'm Dr. Demola Shogunle. I'm the Chief Executive of Stanbic IBTC Holdings PLC. And in my role, I more or less oversee the franchise of Standard Bank in Nigeria. In Nigeria, we've got 11 subsidiaries, each of them with their own, chief executive officer, and I sit at the very top. In Stanbic IBTC, we've come to realize the kind of emotional toll that a limb loss, in any child could cause, for any family. And that's one of the reasons we've come, to dedicate ourselves, 100% to being able, to provide prosthetic limbs, for those affected, children, and to be able also to support them educationally. That is why we've had to do that, just more or less giving them, a sense of belonging, and making their dreams, to come to reality.
Getting a prosthetic limb is not easy. It requires patience and determination, but in the end, it gives hope. Limbless children can walk, run, and play again, reclaiming their childhood and dignity.
I watched a particular clip of a mother that told us that she was really sad. She felt so, bad, given, not that it was by accident. The child was born, without one of the limbs. And the trauma and everything, then there was a transformation. Haven't come across us, we've rendered the assistance, we've rendered the help, that the same child that she was trying to more or less throw away, I couldn't believe it. The same child that was like a source of sorrow, a source of pain, a source of sadness, had now become their visa, so to speak, to, joy, coming to Lagos, having to board a plane, getting tickets, going through the protocol, coming to Stanbic IBTC for the event, receiving, educational trust, being beamed live, being recorded, that the whole thing was just transformed. It's very touching.
Together for a Limb focuses on transforming the lives of children without limbs from congenital issues, accidents, or mismanaged injuries. Such children get prosthetic limbs.
When I couldn't walk, I was always dreaming about walking, telling anybody assisting me in the future. Like, I was very sad when I knew that I could not walk. I was saying, why is it that it's only me that I could not walk out of everybody? I thought, why is it that my leg is different from everybody's own? But when Stanbic IBTC came to my age, I was very, very happy. My name is Yenoru Adekoya, and I'm 10 years old. I'm in Basic 6, and I have both brother and sister. Their names are Ibukun, Oluwa, and Jesutofumi. I also love singing, dancing, and reading books, with playing games.
Since its commencement in 2015, the Together for a Limb initiative has provided prosthetics and educational trust, running into hundreds of millions of naira for over 60 children aged 1 and above. These prosthetics are replaced as the need arises until they turn 18.
My name is Ruth Adekoya. I sew and then I also do transport business. My family, we are 7 in our family: my husband, myself, my mother-in-law, my son, which is more like my children uncle, then my children. I have 3 kids. The first one is Ibukun Oluwa, he's 12 years old. Iyanu Oluwa, my daughter, from Iyanu is 10 years old. And then the last child, Jesu Tofumi, she is 6 years old. Actually, Iyanu did not lose her limb. Iyanu, I gave birth to Iyanu Oluwa limbless. That's with one of her legs smaller than the other, which made it difficult for her to walk as she is growing up. And all through that time, it has really been very, very difficult, because when you see other kids walking, Iyanu cannot walk. So she's not happy, because she wants to walk, she wants to play with other children around, but because she cannot walk, she can't even run with them. Going to school at that early stage was even difficult, because children some start going to school 2-3 years, but Iyanu could not start with them as she couldn't walk. Even though she was using clutches, it was very, very difficult for her to walk. And then for myself, majorly because I have to back her when we are going out, even when she's at home and we have visitors, I will just have to take her inside the house so that people don't see her because of the leg. So as a family, everybody is just trying to guide to make sure that people outside don't know what's happened to Iyanu. Even when they ask, "Where is your daughter?" we say she's sleeping. So it was really, really difficult, mentally, physically. It was difficult being with Iyanu at that early stage. I think in the course of trying to get a kind of support, that's something that can help Iyanu to walk with. We made inquiries from the hospital I gave birth to, and then also from people around. We also tried to get the prices of prosthetics. That is something she can wear as a support. But the cost of those prosthetics were very, very huge. It was beyond our budget. That was beyond our budget. We just could not afford it. So we just kept on making inquiries. And as God would have it, we got in touch with Ifen Health. I just saw their number and I put a call through to them, through to Ifen Health. And that was how we got connected to Stanbic IBTC through Ifen Health, just with a call. And then everything I'll say, because they've been the one helping us. Stanbic IBTC has been helping us. That's from that initial time we got in touch with them till now.
The support from Stanbic IBTC doesn't end with prosthetic limb. The organization also provides education trust for children to help them succeed in school and life.
Apart from the prosthetic limb that was given to Iyanu Oluwa, Stanbic IBTC also helped her education-wise. They gave us what they call education trust fund, from which our school fees is being paid. So every year we just make a request to them, and then they pay Iyanu school fees, even ahead of time. And that itself has really helped us, because I tell you, financial-wise, when I look at what I earn, that I'm sewing, and then even that one, it is nothing. But the fact that Stanbic IBTC is able to pay Iyanu school fees, not just for that year, they've been paying it since that time. They've been paying that school fees on a yearly basis since that time. And I think it's even going to continue maybe for a very long time. So I'm saying thank you to them. So I'll say emotion-wise, financial-wise, Stanbic IBTC has helped us a lot. And we are grateful to them. We are grateful. Thank you so much, Stanbic IBTC.
Not only the Stanbic IBTC helped me get a prosthetic limb, they also helped me with many other things, like helped me with my school fees. Almost every time in our school, they used to call us out. People that never pay your school fees to come out. But now I don't have to worry at all, because they already helped me pay my school fees in full. Like every time, like I'm always the first person to pay. Now that I don't need to worry about my school fees, I can just continue chasing my dreams on becoming a doctor. I can focus on my mathematics, English, and other things. I can focus on what I want to become and how I'm going to do it. I don't need to worry about anything else.
Yes, the generalized view for us, is to go beyond. We want to be able to extend this, right, to as many Nigerians as possible. And for us is to be able to make a quantum leap to the point where we are talking about hundreds, of beneficiaries. And for us to be able to do that, we need to change even the concept. We need to expand it. We need to, enlarge, the catchment areas. And also we need to increase the budget. Because there is one thing to do something, there is another to do it with impact. We've got to the stage now where we've already, I would say we've already piloted, we've already experimented. The stage we've got to now is to take a quantum leap, right? And give it a broader, impact within, the country, within Nigeria.
My name is Ejike Ani. I'm the founder and CEO of Ifian Health. We are the leading provider of prosthetics in Nigeria. And over the course of several years, we've worked with countless Nigerians who've lost a limb. However, it is particularly worrisome to see the increasing number of children living with limb loss. For a variety of reasons. Domestic accidents is a big one, about 70%. Then you have cancer, congenital, and other factors. The prosthetics from Stanbic IBTC's Together for a Limb initiative is unique because they are customized for each child. All the major factors are considered: age, gender, activity level, home, school environments are also considered. This customization ensures that the child is able to engage in their daily activities, school, hobbies, play with their friends without feeling limited or ostracized. So these kids are an inspiration to all of us. Despite the many challenges they face, they are determined to succeed and they have a partner to support them. They are living examples to show that with the right support, anything is possible. It can be. So as soon as they are onboarded and they get their first limb, our monitoring process is activated for each child. And there are two prongs to it. One is clinical, two is academic. So I'll start with the first one. The clinical angle of it is that over time, they get taller, they get a little bigger, which means that they might need an adjustment because their height will be a bit different. So we provide adjustments over time, and eventually, then we need a new prosthesis. Their shoe size have changed; they are much bigger, especially when they hit puberty. And so what we do is that every couple of years, Stanbic IBTC's Together for a Limb initiative funds repeats provision of prosthetics until they reach age 18. As that is going on, the academic support ensures that they enjoy the benefits of the Education Trust Fund, the 1.5 million naira trust fund that Stanbic IBTC provides. It gets very interesting because as I mentioned earlier, these are lower income families. Some of the parents did not go to school, not educated, do not understand the planning process for school. And some parents just want all the money or think they want to splurge. So what we do is that we have a team that really works with parents to help them to ensure that these kids enjoy the benefits as long as it's possible, especially the girl child. We want her to be able to at least get an ND or HND. So if you're in GS1, there are X number of terms to graduate. If you're in SS2, it's different. So we work with the parents to ensure that these kids are on that path. We have had to change school for kids. When you are in a school that is not working out very well, we move you to a different place. We have had to move people to boarding school because home is not conducive. They'll come home and they're all cleaning and washing all day and all night. So the program management for the academic part of this is quite robust and ensures that these kids are on the right path. And there's lots of success stories. And we have happiness from Bayelsa State, whose bilateral upper limbs had to use her stump to write senior WAEC and JAMB, and was able to get into, she has finished her ND, about to get her HND. We have Mrs. Odo from Niger State, who previously, the son was the least, the bottom of the food chain. She was ashamed of the son, wasn't proud of the son. And the Stanbic IBTC's Together for a Limb initiative, this program made her, for the first time, come to an airport, first time fly. And she was dancing and singing and praying for us and for Stanbic IBTC that this son who was forgotten, who was nobody, is now the one that's making her shine. The joy on her face and on parents, children, the communities, it's something else.
Yeah, I think it would be important to, start off from the deliberateness about where the prosthesis come from the quality of the prosthesis. So the prosthesis, the artificial limbs are lightweight. They help ensure that, you know, gaits can be corrected. They mimic the normal movement of the human body. And I think one story that resonates readily would be of a boy who had a severed arm, and he was identified as a beneficiary, and he got new, you know, and, you know, if I can use that, just, you know, at that level. And we got feedback. The first week back in school, he's been out of school for a while, he got back to school, and he was shaking everybody, you know, extending his hands out. And on one of my own personal visits, it was a child who had lost a leg. And so when he got the leg, incidentally, while the program was running, it was his birthday. And there was a small party that the Fine Health put together for him, and he was dancing. I took that recording, and I remember very well. It was so emotional. I shared with my children. And obviously the boy had not danced in a very long time. And that would only have been possible with the vision and the support of Stanbic IBTC. Yeah, I think for us as partners to Stanbic IBTC, the highlights are clear. One is children have the possibility of getting their lives back. You know, a child who had a dream to play football, even though he may not be able to play professionally, those are the kind of things that you see. And when we talk about you know, rehabilitation and restoration, it's also important that because when people are physically challenged, even when the society does not discriminate against them, you know, it erodes their self-esteem. And so you bring this back, you give them more functional lives, they become independent, they can get back to life, back to school, their dreams are, you know, are achievable. And we believe those are those are things that Stanbic IBTC saw and envisioned, and you know, it's been something truly remarkable. And we hope that, you know, in coming years it will even get bigger. And so it also fosters national integration, because also in that project we've seen there is no ethnicity divide. Those children come from all the corners of the country, and they come together. And because they are there for weeks, you know, so there are no divides, and it promotes nationalism, it promotes unity. And it's, like you mentioned, it's just something that you may not be able to put in words, actually.
Well, I never thought I could walk again, but Stanbic IBTC gave me my life back. Now I can play with my friends, go to school, and chase my dreams. So thank you, Stanbic IBTC, and thumbs up to everything you're doing to me. I hope you can do more. Thanks for everything. Thanks.
Every year we embark on Together for a Limb Walk, basically to create awareness. And that awareness is very, very important. So when we create awareness for limbless children, even the general public will be able to connect to the message that we are trying to pass across. And this year alone, we are deliberately trying to raise the profile. From inception to date, we've done about 55 or so beneficiaries that we've actually had to give, you know, prosthetic limbs to. But this year we are deliberately moving to about 100, because we haven't piloted haven't seen what we've done in the last couple of years, we are deliberately trying to move to another level. So we will move to the point by the end of this year, we will have done 100 beneficiaries, and that is significant.
Together for a Limb is a light in the dark story. Thanks to Stanbic IBTC, many children have been given a second chance to live their lives to the fullest. This is the story of hope, a knowledge that with the right partner, whatever your dreams are, go for it, it can be.
Millions of children, all over the world, not only in Nigeria, haven't lost their limbs. They've also, to a very great extent, they will have lost their dreams. And they've also lost their voices. And so when you look at the combination of that, you are talking about being discriminated against. Some of them also, they may be victimized, right? What we stand for is a scenario whereby we are able to restore that dream, and we are able to also restore their voices. There is nothing as good as having your limbs, all of them intact. Then you show up, people will know what you can deliver, what you can offer. And our own plan is to be able to restore that, give them back their dreams, give them back their voices within the community.
Yes, it can be. That is the mantra that drives us to run the business as humanity. On the social front, Stanbic IBTC's corporate social investment CSI framework focuses on 3 key areas: education, health, and economic empowerment. The organization is known for executing meaningful and impactful CSI projects with deliberate efforts to ensure a widespread across the geopolitical zones in the country.
My name is Bomi Dayo Olagunju, and I'm the Executive Director, Operations at Stanbic IBTC Bank. At Stanbic IBTC, what we did was to set up a team working collaboratively that is dedicated to the design, the implementation, and the drive of our ESG goals. The aim being that we would attain, long-term support for this program and these strategies, as well as create shared value amongst the stakeholders in that ecosystem. So another thing we've done is to actually make these ESGs very practical in our institution. And what we've done is to acronym it C, meaning social, economic, and environmental values. SEE, as we call it, enables us to really see into our communities and bring these ESGs alive. We focus on 3 primary areas: education, economic empowerment, and healthcare. And we really believe that providing significant values in these 3 focus areas will give great impact in our country. In the past few years, one of the things that we've seen really jump out at us is the need to support the infrastructure creation in Nigeria. And we've approached that by setting up what we call the Stanbic IBTC Infrastructure Fund under, at this first instance, a primary 100 billion naira funding. Out of that fund, we have successfully raised and released 6.75 billion naira towards the development of a gas project, providing energy, power, and also healthcare, primary healthcare facilities in the selected communities that this has gone live. We have received significant positive feedback, and it's encouraged us to know that this is certainly the path to go.
Stanbic IBTC has 7 impact areas that drive positive socio-economic impact. These are financial inclusion, job creation and enterprise growth, education, health, infrastructure, African trade and investment, sustainable finance, and climate change.
When we are talking about that, I can quickly talk about, let's say financial inclusion, and that is key. Whether we like it or not, we are talking about almost 40-something% of Nigerian adults, financially excluded. What we've done is to look for the easiest, access to the financial system, by creating what we call the artist wallet. And it's very simple. With your phone, you get a wallet and you can start to transact. You can start banking transactions. And last year, I can tell you, we were able to open almost 1 million, artist wallets, right, in Stanbic IBTC. What does that mean? It means that whether you like it or not, we've brought 1 million new Nigerians who hitherto were financially excluded. We've brought them into the financial system. And don't forget, we as Stanbic IBTC, we are what you call end-to-end financial service provider. Once you come in, you enjoy more than banking. So whether it's insurance, whether it's stockbroking, because financial inclusion goes beyond pay and receive. Can you do investment? Can you save? Can you enjoy insurance cover? Right? Do you like to play in the stock market? We've got all those within Stanbic IBTC, and by bringing 1 million into the system, taking them out of financial exclusion and making them to be financially inclusive, we've changed the dynamics for them entirely, and that's what we've done.
Stanbic IBTC is future conscious and equally relevant in the present. By prioritizing environmental, social, and governance practices, they are setting an example for other businesses to follow and positively impacting the world around them. Their sustainability initiative reflects their organizational value and reveals their commitment to running their business as humanity.
Yes, this one is very dear to our hearts. I've personally had to, I've had to facilitate. I've had to travel to some of the secondary schools as far, I've gone to the east, I've gone to northwest, northeast, to bring students, to the level where we are talking about financial literacy. And it's very important. And if you are talking about figures, we've got almost 17,000 participants that we've had to cover, around, 2022 alone, just to bring them into the knowledge of financial literacy. And, we have to be financially literate if we want also to derive value and create value for those who are financially included. And one of the best things we can do is to start from the base. So, as the MD, we go down to, primary schools, we go down to secondary schools, and we get them to demonstrate it. I haven't taken them through maybe, 2 hours, of facilitation, Q&A. We'll take our mobile ATM, buses there. We give them the card, and they will go there, press the button, and withdraw money. It's just incredible. But those who will withdraw, they will be those who have already answered questions successfully, because we can't do for everybody. So maybe 10 or 20 of them, we get them to queue, give them instant, debit card, and they will go to our ATM right inside their own school, and they will withdraw the money, and they feel like champions. And that's the whole benefit of taking this to the grassroots.
Stanbic IBTC's efforts create a brighter future for all, building a place where people and the planet can coexist happily. Stanbic IBTC, it can be.